Welcome back. Today we're going to do Rush Flyby Night, which is 1975 on Polygram or Mercury. I've had this copy for a long time. I think I picked it up back in the old days. By the way, you can see right here, this is it's got a BMG. I used to do the BMG ordering. I got picked up a lot of CDs doing that. Okay, this is Rush Flyby Night, produced by Rush and Terry Brown. And that's different from the debut album. This is the second album from Rush. The debut is a self-titled one, and it was produced by Rush. So this one they're bringing in a co-producer named Terry Brown. All lyrics by Peart, except for two tracks, Best I Can and In the End, which is the last song. And music by Lee and Lifeson, except where noted, so I'll point those out when we get to them. Now this has moments like the debut album, but what's different here is the classic Rush is starting to show up. You can hear it. In the debut album, I compared it to Kiss or Zeppelin or even Guns N' Roses, which might sound ridiculous, but this sounds more like a Led Zeppelin album. And I hear Rush, but that's who they're sounding like to me is Zepp. It's probably unintentionally. That's just what, that's the way they were making albums back in the mid-70s. I was looking for information on the cover. This one's quite a bit different than the first album. You got the big owl. It's very blue. You got the dark blue, and then the ground is blue, and the owl's even kind of got a bluish hue to it. In the back of the CD is blue, and even the inside. These cheaper BMG ones, this is just a one. There's no lyrics or nothing in here. This is just a cheap reproduction of the album, probably the vinyl. This isn't a remaster or anything like that. So I would be interested to hear about what the album art cover is about. With the owl, there's a reference on this CD to Lord of the Rings. I don't know if I don't think there's an owl in Lord of the Rings. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched them. Okay, but anyway, this is going to be more like the Rush that you're familiar with, the 70s Rush, but still, it's still really Zeppelin-ish to me. Okay, Neil Peart's here. He's replaced Rutsey, and like I mentioned, he's writing most of the lyrics, and it's a big difference. Let's go track by track. The first track is Anthem. Anthem is the first one that gets the check mark. It's about 4 minutes long. There's a version of the song also on a different stages, which is the live CD from the Test from Echo tour. This is remarkably different than the first album. You get Neil Peart's first written credit, at least in sequential order of the albums. This is the first one. It might have been the last one he wrote for the record, but it's the first one here. All three of them share in the writing credit. And it's got a pretty traditional structure of verse, chorus, bridge, and then a solo by Alex in the middle, and then a verse, chorus, and then it goes out. So pretty traditional song structure here, but this one has a different feel than the first album right off the bat. It's dun 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 dun. It's a cool song. I like. Anthem gets the check mark. Okay, Best I Can is the second track. 3 minutes, 25 seconds. This sounds like a song... This song would fit better more on the debut album. Okay, that's what it sounds like to me. So this one's written by Geddy Lee. It has more of a feel of the first album, but it's a great song, and it would have made the first album too. I'm not sure when it was written. Probably was written during the first album. I don't know. I guess I need to get a good Rush book and read up, because I'm listening to the songs a lot, but I don't know a lot of the background or the facts behind it. But it sounds like it's got a good first album vibe to it, so I would probably put it there. Song structure wise, verse, chorus, bridge, solo by Alex, and then bridge, verse. So it's a short song to get all that. But it gets the check mark, and you can really hear the Zeppelin influence on this one. The third track is Beneath, Between, and Behind. That's 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Again, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. And you can really hear the Zeppelin influence on that one. It's a decent track. It's not a skip by any means. Fourth track, By Tor and the Snow Dog. This is a long one. Now here, this is the very first complex song you get from Rush. Ever. And pretty interesting song too, because back in the day they'd play this on WAPL out of Appleton. And they'd play it a lot. And I think I read that Neil's writing about these two dogs, Biter and the Snow Dog, but he couldn't call it Biter. He changed it to Bytor. I probably read that on Wikipedia or something. I don't know. This song gets the big check mark. This is a great track. So, and the song structure, it doesn't say that here, but if you open in the insert, the inner sleeve, it breaks down the 4 parts of the track. So At the Tobis of Hades, Across the Styx, The Battle, and Epilogue is the 4th part. And the way that works is the Hades part is the verse, and then the Styx part is a verse, and then the battle is this, it's this instrumental war between Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson. And it's just a really long instrumental part and a cool guitar solo at the end of it during the Hymn of Triumph. And then the epilogue is the last verse. So this song gets a big check mark, and it's a cool track. And you can really hear Neil telling the story of... I even read on Genius that, Alex and Geddy they're Bytor and the Snow Dog, and they're battling each other. I don't know if that's probably just some dude on Genius. Track 5 is Fly By Night. This one is a Geddy Lee Neil Peart song. So Lee wrote the music and Peart the lyrics. And we'll go back to the more simpler structure. Verse, chorus, solo by Alex, and then chorus, a crazy interlude, and then a chorus. The interlude is really cool. It's not crazy. It's awesome actually. You guys know the song. Genius says this is about Neil joining the band and the time before he joined the band, and so he's just writing that out as a story. About a flight he took. I mean, so by the way, that's also the name of the album is Fly By Night, and they got the owl on there. Okay. I'm not sure if that story is real, but probably. I'm sure the Rush fans out there have validated that. And I should read a good Rush book. You could send me a Rush book. That'd be cool. WAPL would also play Fly By Night as a regular. You'd hear it about once a week. And it gets the big check mark for me. Track 6 is Making Memories. This is another track. This is a short one, under 3 minutes at 2:58. Credited to Lee, Lifeson, and Peart. It's a catchy tune and a fast beat, 4/4 time. I'm guessing it's a quick tempo. Dot dot dot. It's got a simple song structure: verse, chorus, solo, chorus, outro. About 3 minutes long. Road Life's Not So Bad is what Geddy's singing, and you can really hear the Zepp influence on this one too. This is a good track. It gets the check mark. Track 7 is Rivendell, just under 5 minutes at 4:57. More simple song structure again: verse, chorus, chorus. This is a song about the elf Elrond from The Lord of the Rings. At least that's what I think. It's a real acoustic guitar song, and the song doesn't do much. It's really just Geddy singing behind that acoustic guitar. There's no percussion, no bass. It's just Geddy and Alex. I would assume that's Alex on guitar. Although it could be Geddy. It says It says Geddy Lee bass guitar, classical guitars, all vocals. By the way, I just noticed this. Geddy is Vitor and Alex is the Snow Dog. Okay. Yeah. So it's a Geddy Lee song, and Neil Peart wrote the lyrics, and you hear that Rivendell story. You can really hear a Zepp influence on this one. Geddy singing "Standing with My Senses," reeling. This is the place to grow old till I reach my final day. When I hear that, it reminds me of the last scene in the Return of the King movie, where the hobbits and Gandalf they sail away. My wife told me it's wrong. She says that's it's more of a reference to Bilbo Baggins going to Rivendell in the first movie. Could be, I don't know. That probably sounds right. And that's a good tune though. It's okay. It just doesn't do a lot, you know. The last track is track 8 in the end. Another one of the longer ones at 6:47. Simple song structure again, verse, chorus, a segue in the middle, another verse, refrain, verse, refrain. Excellent song. I like this one. Big riffing at 2 minutes, at the 2-minute mark for the refrain. That da da da. This one gets the check mark for me. It's a big, powerful riff. And if you've heard it, you know what I mean. The refrain is the same as the chorus. It's the same thing. Okay. Okay, so that's Rush, Fly By Night. I guess to summarize, it's definitely tighter song lyrics with more storytelling by Neil than the first album, where the first album is coming in, you know, written by Geddy and Alex. As far as I can tell, it's not a full-fledged concept record yet. And it's not a full-calorie progressive album, but it has moments and songs, the ones that I mentioned. You know, most of it is more simple song structures. It could be on the first debut album. But not all the way a progressive rock record yet, but it has its moments. But the future's coming. It's coming, and it's going to come real quick, okay? And this is a great effort. It's a better effort than the debut. I like it better than the debut. I'll say it's a better record. And when I do the rankings video, it'll be higher than the debut album. And I guess the last thing I would say about it is I think Alex is really impressive. You know, he's a great guitar player, and you don't hear him mentioned very often with the, you know, I know people always talk about the Claptons and the Hendrixes and these guys, but I think he's awesome. I think I still got Fripp #1. I like Gilmore a lot, and I like Steve Howe. I probably have, maybe it's a tie between Steve Howe and Fripp. I like them both. Steve's probably a little bit more versatile, but I like Alex. Alex is cool, and so are the other two guys, Geddy Lee and Neil Peart. Okay. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll keep doing these, and I think the next one I'm gonna do is Crest of Steel. All right. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Leave your comments if you agree or disagree with me, or if you have something additional to say, or maybe I forgot to say something, or I left something out, or I got something wrong. Thanks for listening, everybody. Talk to you later.